Pub, that will assist debarkation.
This is a tour of Carnival Spirit. Carnival Spirit comes in at 88,500 gross registered tons, 963 feet long, carries 2,124 guests, double occupancy, and debuted with Carnival Cruise Line in 2001. Jumping right in here, there are 15 elevators on this ship. There's 4 forward, 4 midship, 3 glass elevators in the atrium, and 4 in the back or the aft of the ship. The embarkation points for Carnival Spirit, now they'll vary depending on what ports you're visiting, if they have a jetway or not. Obviously, ports like Nassau, it'll be down on Deck 0, which is also where you'll find the infirmary on board. Deck 1 forward, that's where we'll start. It's the Punchliner Comedy Club, late-night comedians, karaoke, and some presentations held up here in the forward theater. Nothing else but staterooms on this deck, with the exception of the galley in the very back of the ship. And also there's the first level of the 2-deck nightclub, but you can't actually access it until you're on Deck 2, which is where we'll go next. So starting in the back or the aft of the ship is the 2-floor main dining room. These Spirit class ships, they only have 1 main dining room and they're 2 decks high. Remember, these ships came after the Fantasy class, which had 2, a midship and an aft single-story dining room. This has just 1 dining room in the very back here. Now, leaving the main dining room and walking forward, we have the dance club we were talking about. That's going to be on your port side. That is 2 decks. Mind your step in the dark if you're going down there to the first floor. It is kind of a cool place and a cool little vibe here. Then you'll come to the Alchemy Bar, which serves up handcrafted cocktails, and now with non-alcoholic ones as of March of 2023. The atrium is just ahead, which spans 2 decks and also has those glass elevators that'll take you all the way up to the steakhouse, which is just under the funnel on this ship. Actually really cool too. Also in the atrium here, you have the guest services and the shore excursions desk. Also a big bar in here, as well as a bandstand. As you're walking forward and leaving the atrium, you'll come across Bonsai Sushi Express, which serves sushi in a more scaled-down version of the full Bonsai sushi venues found on the newer and refurbished ships. Now, the Louis XIV Casino is just ahead of the Bonsai Sushi area. This casino got pretty smoky on our sailing, although you can no longer smoke at the casino bar in here. If you're gaming, you can smoke in here, but if you're not gaming and like you're just sitting at the bar, you cannot smoke. However, there are dedicated smoking areas outside of the ship. So outdoors on Deck 3, starboard side forward, you can smoke. Deck 9, starboard side forward, and also Deck 10, starboard side forward. So there's 3 dedicated areas outside you can smoke, but unless you're gaming, there's absolutely no smoking inside the ship at all. Off of the casino on the port side is the Skybox Sports Bar with a ticker showing the latest scores, and actually all around the world too, so there's like 24/7 scores happening in there. Also about a dozen TVs on the wall and a big bar that spans the entire room in here. Next to the sports bar is the RedFrog Pub, which has Caribbean rums, Carnival's brewed beer, and live music. Also some karaoke in here throughout the week. On our sailing, they had karaoke down on Deck 1 and also in here. Now, walking outside of the RedFrog Pub, you'll come across the Java Blue Cafe, the coffee shop on here, also serving those big, massive pieces of cheesecake and donuts in this area as well. Also a sitting area. There was a piano in here on our sailing. It really wasn't used at all, but it was just there, I guess, maybe for decoration, or sometimes they maybe do use it. I don't know. There's also a card room across from the coffee shop, and then you walk into the theater. Now, the theater spans 2, 3, and 4, and it holds the Playlist production shows, the Love and Marriage show, and also a meeting point for shore excursions. If you haven't noticed by now, these Spirit class ships are very unique because everything's on the lower levels, whereas the promenade on the Fantasy class ships is like Deck 8. The Vista and the Dream class ships are like Deck 5. So they're kind of all over the map, but these Spirit class ships definitely have the lower promenades. Leaving the theater on deck number 3, we have 3 choices, okay? So the first one is taking a hard left or right when you leave the theater, and you're going into the Jungle Interior Promenade. Now, that has a bunch of little seats and tables, a perfect sitting place for a sea day, and just a cool jungle vibe in here. It's really cool with some neon lighting and stuff if they haven't taken that out yet. Or you could walk the promenade of the ship outside as well. So you can start here, go all the way to the back, wrap around the main dining room, come all the way forward. And if you want to complete the whole ship, you have to come back inside through this interior promenade. So you can walk the entire ship from front to back in a big 360, if you will. You just have to go both inside and out. If you leave the theater and you want to stay inside the ship, you'll come to the Warehouse Arcade, which used to be a lot smaller until a recent dry dock where they knocked down the walls of the chapel and expanded the arcade. Now, instead of exchanging vows in here, you're exchanging tickets for prizes. Next to the arcade, you have the piano bar where there's no shortage of Sweet Caroline, Piano Man, American Pie, and some other classics. There's also a staircase here that'll take you down to deck 2 for the coffee shop. And I forgot to mention down on deck 2, the staircase is also there, which will take you up here if you want to go to the piano bar. Continuing your walk aft, you have a bunch of shops in this space. You can buy yourself a watch. You can get some perfume. If you forgot your sunscreen, you can buy a $30 small bottle here. Sidewalk sales on the last day. Just all kinds of stuff happening down here in the fun shops. Now, walking after the fun shops, it'll take you through the Pixels photo gallery, then onto this atrium again. Again, this atrium spans deck 2 and 3. The band and bar is on deck 2. Deck 3 here is just the place if you don't want to participate, but you want to watch, come up here. As you continue your walk back, you come to a little shopping. I don't know what this is. It's called Soul Play. It looks like an art studio. I don't know. I never saw anyone in it the whole cruise, but it's there, and it looks like you can buy stuff or paint something. That's going to be on the port side of the ship. Keep walking back. You have the second level of the main dining room. Take a moment and look at the attention to detail in this dining room. They really cared when they were building cruise ships back then. Yeah, it could be gaudy, I guess, to some, but the attention to detail is definitely there. As I mentioned earlier, right here in front of the main dining room, there's also that aft area to walk outside to get that perfect wake view of the ship. And remember, if you want to go outside to smoke, don't walk out that port door. It's the starboard door forward for deck 3. Up to deck number 4, we have the cheap seats for the theater. If you want to slip in and slip out of the production show or what have you, sit up here. You won't bother anybody. All the way 4 forward is the Circle C Kids Club. And to access this, you can either go from deck 3 and take the stairs, or deck 5 and take the stairs down. Deck number 5, all the way forward, is Club O2. That's for the teens to hang out. Now, to access this place, you'll walk all the way forward on 5, or walk all the way forward on 3 or 4 and take the stairs up. More staterooms on decks 6, 7, and 8, which takes us to deck number 9. The Lido deck will start all the way forward on deck 9, where you'll find the spa. You have a 2-deck fitness center here with all your basic workout equipment, and with it being 2 decks, it never really seemed too crowded up here. At the time of recording, there is also a big hot tub right in the middle of the gym here, which never also seemed to be used that much, but it was there and it had water in it and it was bubbling, so jump in if it's still there. Walking back to the gym, you have those locker rooms you have to go through to access it. So the ladies have their own, the men have their own. And then in each one of the respective locker rooms, you have a sauna and a steam room that's complimentary to use. You don't have to pay for it, unlike the newer ships where you'd have to buy a thermal suite pass. Stepping outside of the gym and walking all the way forward, you're 1 deck above the navigational bridge, so a pretty good view from right here. And also a smoking area up here as well, deck 9 forward, starboard side. Walking aft, you have 2 main pools right here on the Lido deck, right here in the center of the ship, which is another difference from the larger ships because normally there's just 1 big pool. The Spirit class has 2 pools right here and then 1 in the back. Around the pool is the BlueIguana Cantina and the Guy's Burger Joint, along with the BlueIguana Tequila Bar and the RedFrog Rum Bar. Now, the pool next to the Seaside Theater where you can watch the movies under the stars, that's retractable, so it makes it perfect for inclement weather if you want to go outside and swim or even watch a movie when it's pouring down rain. You will be covered there. Entering the Lido deck buffet, it's your typical buffet layout with the salad bar, the Carnival deli, pizza, your daily offerings. This is open breakfast, lunch, and dinner. On the very back of deck 9, you'll find the Serenity area, adults only. And yes, they are enforcing that. I saw someone just wave off the attendant when they brought their little kid back there, and the attendant called security, and security said, "Hey, get the kid out of here." That's how you solve stuff, but not to mention the blatant disrespect that guest had for the employee who he just waved off like, "I'm taking my kid wherever." Good try, buddy. Taking the stairs up to deck number 10, you have more clamshell chairs up here that line both the port and starboard side of the ship. The Green Thunder water slide looks pretty cool too. I didn't do it because I have space issues getting into that little tube there, but definitely hop on that if you're into that kind of thing. And then all the way in the very front of deck number 10 is the Camp Ocean Kids program. Deck number 11 is split into 2 different places. The forward area is the jogging track, the basketball court, and the mini golf area. Also playing a little pickleball up there now, it looks like. And then on the aft deck 11, that's where you'll find the Waterworks Water Park and the second deck of the two-deck steakhouse. The last and final is deck number 12, which is the sky deck. It used to be the topless deck until the perverts ruined it for us. Up here, you can get an up-close and personal view of that ship's funnel. It's, as I mentioned, it's translucent, so it's like I don't know, some kind of plastic material that you could actually see through and look down into the steakhouse or into the atrium. Also, great panoramic shots of the port if you're right here while you're docked. I mean, look, this ship is all over the map. You have the piano bar that pays homage to the Japanese. You have the Pharaoh's Palace, which is the theater with the Egyptian hieroglyphics in it. You have the Empire Dining Room with a statue of Napoleon back there. A little bit of something for everyone. Have you sailed Carnival Spirit or a Spirit-class ship, which would be Carnival Pride, Miracle, Legend, or Spirit? Let me know if you have in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It'll put it in front of more people researching Carnival Spirit.
The proceeding was made possible by Cruise Radio Patreon supporters. You can learn more about Patreon benefits and join at patreon.com/cruiseradio.